Hello, everybody, and welcome to the School of Life with Sonny, where we talk about all things, everything. Um, as always, I love to ask you, like, why should you learn from your own experience while you can learn from other people's experiences? You don't have to go through it. You don't have to let your children go through it. You don't have to open doors that you don't really have to open. If you can learn from other people who have had open doors that have messed generations upon generations. So that is why we are here, to just expose a lot of things that mostly have not been talked about. And in this season, that is what I've been doing. Still on Life is Spiritual. I got a bit of a challenge while recording this video. The first time I recorded and had an interruption that made me delete whatever I had recorded. The second time I recorded, I I just talked for about 20 minutes and realized that I had not pressed play. I was so tired by that time. And the third time that I recorded, for some reason, recorded it on slow mo. So I was actually about to do like a fourth video until my son was able to find out a way of converting from slow mo to the normal frequency. So forgive me for the few minutes, like 3 minutes, somewhere in from maybe minute 3 to 5 thereabout, that the video is not gonna be so clear. Thank you. And in my previous video, I just gave you an example of this pastor who had this confession, and I mentioned that we should test every spirit. I talked about you being very careful with the people that you engage with, not allowing yourself to be defiled, and just being able to point out and to see the person that you're becoming by virtue of relating to other people. If someone comes into your life and they change you, you start going to places that you are not going to. You start believing in things that you are not believing in. Like your integrity is compromised. Those are red flags that you should look out for. And some are just gradual, but be very careful, be vigilant, be watchful. So today I want to go all the way to Uganda. So I gave you an example from Kenya, but today I want to give you an example from a pastor or an apostle that shared his story in a platform that in a UK platform, and I'm going to be sharing the link with you on that. This video has been watched almost 8 million times. I don't know if you're part of that of the 8 million, and if you're not, then you might just become part of it. And again, these are things that people don't believe in, and I will keep saying it 100 times that I believe in these things. I believe that these things happen. What to you? If you have ignorance? What to you if you are spiritually blind? What to you if you do not really believe that the devil is active and the devil is strategic, and the devil has a lot of work that he is doing in this world? And we are privileged to have people who have gone through stuff, and they're able to expose the same to us. So going to this story, so that the story is long. The interview is about 3 hours, but I won't share what happens in the first hour. So I'm going to start from the second hour, and I'm going to just give you a brief of what he is talking about, and what I really want you to know, and what I want to warn you about. So Apostle James, his second name is Kawalia. Yeah, very hard name for me. He talks about how he had been given an assignment, and he had been given an assignment to young people and to pastors. Two major assignments. And very interesting. I think in my previous video I said that the devil has something to offer. The devil is not poor. He is baked. He has money. He has a lot to offer. The only thing is that it's temporary, and it's not his. He's a thief, so he's stolen everything. But he's been given that mandate, right? He's been given that power. So Apostle James, I don't know how to call him right now. Like when I'm giving that story, now he is an apostle, but then he wasn't. So he shares how he was funded, and he says he was being given 600,000 USD per year. If you divide that, if I divided that with my in my Kenyan shilling, and that's about 78 million shillings. If you divide that further by 12, it's like 6.5 million per month. You've been given to spend. You've been given to fund people, and this funding is a funding for initiation. So he's given an assignment to young people. And as I mentioned again in the previous video, the devil does not go for anything that is empty. He goes for potential, full potential. And he's told, we want smart people, we want excellent people, we want bright people. And where is that gonna take him? Guess. To universities. Ooh. Universities. Oh my God, may you cover students, our students in the universities with your blood. May the Lord release his angels and his power in universities, because the things that happen there, oh God. So he is sent to universities to initiate or to recruit 5,000 young men. He is in Makerere University. This is in the 90s. And you can imagine that the amount of money that I've mentioned in the 90s. So he is sent to universities. He is in Makerere University. He's not going to get 5,000 people from Makerere University. So he spreads his wings and he is in all universities. And he says he used to be called master because he had a lot of money. He used to fund people. He used to organize music concerts, fund everything, and have young people come. And he would identify again another way. I think that I mentioned the devil identifies is needy people. So he says he would identify needy students. You need school fees. You're struggling. You don't have money for upkeep. He would identify all those people and fund them. And the moment you're funded, that's a point of contact. The moment you're funded, he was asked if these people knew what he was doing. He said no, they didn't know. First, I'm not going to come and tell you this is what I'm doing. But he would fund you. He would fund you and eventually tell you, you know what? This is exactly what is happening. So he funds these people. He gives them, he provides to them, he pays school fees to so many students, the needy students. Poverty is a doorway that the devil uses. Poverty, trauma, pain, anger, bitterness, and unforgiveness are things that I have been dealing with right now. Like in this season, and I've been telling God, I want you to take away every root of bitterness in me, every unforgiveness in me, because I know. I'm not knowing now. I have known that this can be an open door. I could be very prayerful. I could read the Bible. I could fast. I could do everything else, but bitterness and anger and unforgiveness gives the devil legality. I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to go into that into that later, because these are things that I've been dealing with, and I know that the devil has wanted to open me up to that, because he knows that that this is one way that I can really get you. So I'm going to come to that like later, not now. So he would fund these people. He would fund these young men. And he says he would send them to different universities. So, oh, you're a bright person. Oh, in our estate, there's someone in our community, there's someone who has performed very well. I'm going to send you to these different universities. The same strategy, go ye and make disciples, just as God does. So he was sending people to go and make disciples, and he will continue. He would continue funding them. So that was the first people that he was sent to, young people. Fund them, give them everything they need, organize stuff for them to do. Then the second people that he was sent to was the church, the pastors, the preachers. Again, sadly, he was told, go and look for the undefiled, the preachers who have not been compromised. And I was like, why aren't you going for the compromised ones? Why aren't you going for the defiled ones? He was told, go and look for the uncompromised, because the devil has no business with you if you're compromised. If you're his, there's no battle. If you are his, then there's nothing he wants from you. He is looking for those who are not his to make him his. He is in the work of he's in the business of making disciples and trying to get as many as he can. And so he's told, go and look for the undefiled, uncompromised. And the saddest, he says, I was sent to specific preachers and those who are prayerful. Ugh. Like that combination, those who have not compromised themselves, those who are into the word, and those who are prayerful, and look at ways you can break them. That makes my heart so sad. Very, very, very sad. And you know what? He's gonna use agents, he's gonna use girls, he's gonna use people who are going to come and cause a lot of defilement, from sexual immorality to again identifying needy preachers, and again fund them. But this is the catch. He says the first thing that we would do, the devil hates covenants, and the first thing we would do is break any covenant. If it's preachers, we're going to break their marriage, because we know that this is a very powerful covenant. Like, the devil is always going against what God has and what God has done and what God does, and the strategies of God. So if God says that whatever 2 or 3 bind here will be bound in heaven, if God says that, this covenant should not be broken, the devil is going to come and break it. And that is what that is what Apostle James was saying. The first thing is we just ensure that this covenant is broken, and when this hedge is broken, then we are able to attack. Then he says, he talks about other covenants, like if we have covenanted, if we are fasting, if we are a group and we are fasting, and my friend and I have decided to fast, that's a very, very powerful tool. If we have covenanted to fast maybe for 3 days, if one person breaks it, then we are giving the devil victory. But if we hold firm, and if we hold fast to the fast, then we are victorious, even while doing that, while in the process of fasting and praying and believing God for what you're believing God for. He even talks about one that they had to buy a house for, they had to fund, give him a car, give him drivers, and one of the drivers that they had assigned this pastor to was one of their agents. Like, because they wanted to derail him, they wanted to derail this pastor or this preacher from praying, because that was his strength. We want to derail you from praying. And actually, there's also one thing that they were doing. Like, if we realize that you pray a lot, we try to bring distractions. Like, one family, he says, they caused the child to have eczema, and it would the attack would happen at night, so that the pastor would wake up and attend to the child, probably go to hospital and all that. Then eventually he would oversleep and not have his prayer time, like in the morning. So they try to get you in any which way, in any way that they can get you, so that they can compromise you. So why am I sharing this? I do not want to be accountable for not sharing this, because I have been feeling the need to expose the enemy in this way, and to let especially young preachers, young men of God, know that the Lord is for you. The Lord has a need for you, but the same way that God called you, the same way that God identified you, is the same way that the devil is looking at you, and he is wanting to devour you. He is wanting to compromise you. He wants you not to do that which God has called you to do. So open your eyes. Do not be a fool. Shun spiritual blindness. Don't just allow anybody coming into your life, into your ministry, into your congregation, into your worship team, don't just allow. Test every spirit. Ask God for the spirit of discernment. Ephesians 6, again, I'll always quote Ephesians 6. The first thing that Ephesians 6 talks about is guarding your loins with truth. Guarding your loins with truth. Because the truth is what is going to lead you into all things. And the Bible says that if you abide in my word, if you abide in my word, then you are my disciples. And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. If you abide in my word, another scripture says, sanctify them with thy word is truth. So if you abide in truth, my word is truth. If you abide in truth, you shall become my disciples, and you shall know the truth. The truth in all ways, the truth in all things. And this truth is going to set you free. My prayer today is that you may ask the Lord to open your eyes of understanding. When Solomon was asked to name what he wanted, one of his requests was, give me a heart of wisdom. I know we love to stay there, but he goes further. He says, like, I want a heart of wisdom and discerning. I want to know what I want to be able to know between good and bad. Because discernment is one of the things that has failed us Christians. The spirit of discernment. Knowing what is good and what is evil. Because what is good, what is evil most of the times is quoted in good. So discernment, I've said that enough times. Pray for the spirit of discernment. My people perish for lack of knowledge. Pray for the spirit of discernment. Pray that God may open your eyes for you to see what you should see. Pray that you may be able to, to look at good and know this is good. Not a judgmental spirit. Not a judgmental spirit. I'm not talking about your mind, because discernment is not a function of the mind. Discernment is a function of the spirit. And I'm going to leave you at that. Pray for discernment. When you're going into, I want to say a big thing, but both big and small. Going back to the previous video that I shared about the Kenyan preacher, he used his mind to think, oh, these people are telling me, this is what they're telling me. Oh, they're telling me I give them members, that they're going to give me members. And his mind told him, not his spirit, his mind. He went to his mind. He started resonating with himself, his mind. Oh, I think they want us to start getting members, congregation, maybe doing this and this and give them. He did not seek his spirit man. He did not go to he did not seek spiritual guidance. Discernment is not a mind thing. Oh, I think this is what. Stop thinking and go to that place and ask God. Take time and pray. Take time and seek God. Let the truth set you free. Let the truth set you free. Let your eyes be opened. We are living in those days where those things that were said are coming to pass. A lot of things that were said, a lot of false things that are happening, the enemy is out there. He has his mouth wide open to swallow you, to swallow a lot of things and to swallow a lot of people. And don't forget, he doesn't come with a black, with a black gown and red eyes and a big mouth and horns. He comes as the angel of light. Be watchful. Stay vigilant. Yeah, I'm done. Check out.